Hello, hello, hello there, Growth Motivator family. Welcome back to another Wednesday night 30-minute growth session. Guys, let me tell you, when I created these topics in June and I created July through December, I had no idea how I was going to be interacting with individuals that are experiencing the topics that I'm talking about, or that I would personally be experiencing them myself. So, now tonight is about thriving in high pressure environments. And let me just tell you, I've spoken with so many individuals who have stated that not only is their environment high pressure, it's toxic to the extent that there are people who are getting off of work and going home and crawling in the bed, balling up like a baby, crying, and then getting up and doing it all over again. I had a gentleman who texted me yesterday and said, I saw your topic for tomorrow night. He said, "You probably don't think I listen to your show." He said, "I may not listen live, but I do listen to the recording." His text message said to me that his leader leads by bullying and intimidation. Let me say that again. His leader leads by bullying and intimidation. And so I texted him back and I said, "Well, is this something that is only isolated to when they're interacting with you?" He said, "No, she bullies and intimidates everyone." So, the complete title for tonight is about resilient leadership, thriving in those high pressure environments. But his text message got me to thinking. The leaders have to be resilient in high pressure environments, but those who are being led are having to be resilient. If this resonates with you, I want you to type thriving in the chat. I want you to type thriving in the chat. Why is that so important? Tonight, I want to talk about ways that you can thrive in those high pressure environments. So, today, our environments are volatile, mm, uncertain, complex, and oftentimes ambiguous. Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And so when I talk to individuals about how that makes them feel, this current environment, some people are saying they don't even want to get out of bed, that they dread logging into their computer to go to work virtually, or they dread driving to their current work environment. That's scary because, in my mind, as a healthcare professional who has read thousands of charts related to different mental illnesses, I now understand why the incidences of mental illness is on the rise. So, my first and most important concept tonight is that you've got to protect you. I'm going to share with you before we go tonight a picture of me when I was thriving in a high pressure environment, but I was killing myself internally, physically, emotionally at the same time. And I know you're thinking, well, how could it be both? You're thriving, but you are dying on the inside. So, number one, in these high pressure environments, and you've heard me talk about this before, those of you who are tuning in every week, it is very important that you exercise emotional intelligence, right? Emotional intelligence, you're managing your own emotions, being your own emotional boss, but also recognizing the emotions of others. So, the individual that told me that his leader leads with intimidation and bullying tactics, how does he manage his own emotions, but then recognize hers as well? That's difficult, right? But protecting your own self has to be top priority for you. Adaptability. Sometimes high pressure involved environments require you to adapt to something that you're not used to doing. It may require you to have a different skill set. It may require you to work with other individuals that you haven't worked with before. It might require you to have those crucial conversations. In any case, it's going to be critical that you are adaptable as these situations evolve, but most importantly, again, protect you. Self awareness. When I think about my younger self today and my 50-year-old self today, so my younger self 30 years ago, my current self today 50 years old, I am more self aware now than ever before. I used to allow things and situations to slow down my growth, slow down my progress. But you know what I realized? I owe me. And so sometimes the high pressure environments are so toxic that they require me to remove myself from the situation. The other characteristic that I think is important when it comes to being resilient is about ensuring that you continue to learn and grow. Artificial intelligence is here to stay. And there are some who are saying it's taking over humans. I beg to differ. I think it complements us to help us streamline some of the processes that in the past have taken us longer to do. It makes us more efficient. So, four skills I gave you, I want to repeat them because I want to make sure you have them: emotional intelligence, adaptability, self awareness, and continuous learning. Those are key. Now, you heard me mention where I talked about protecting self. And when you're in these high pressure environments, sometimes you don't even recognize who you've become. And it is so important that you stay locked in to those who love and care about you because they will tell you when something's not right with you. You need that person, that community that has your back. You should not find yourself in a situation where you are about to break down. So I mentioned earlier and these are only 30 minutes. Remember, I mentioned earlier that I was going to tell you a story about me when I was thriving in a high pressure environment, but externally, I was dying. Those that know me intimately said, "You're going to stroke out. You're going to have a heart attack if you don't make a change." And this was way before we were using the word pivot. They said, "You've got to make a transition." So let me set the stage. First, let me share with you a picture because they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So, this picture that I'm going to show you, you see a person that you recognize. Was I dying? I was dying because while I was thriving and I was hitting all of the key performance indicators, all the metrics, right? Doing all of the things that I needed to do for everybody else, I was neglecting the most important person, which is me. In that situation, I got things done that they said couldn't be done. But at the same time, while I was thriving, the environment was toxic. I felt unsupported. I felt disrespected and devalued. And so it came to a point where I had to make a decision, them or me. And I chose me. Those of you who are here live tonight, I want you to type in the chat, "I choose me." I choose me. We've all been there. We're afraid to change and do something new. But one of the things that I realize is that I have a lot to live for, and I cannot allow others to take me out of here. And when I say take me out of here, let me explain a little bit further. In the picture that I just showed you, and I'm going to show you this picture again, I was doing the work of three people. I was doing the work of three people, but it was just me. I was making things happen that no one thought could happen, and it was happening one after the other. And it took my mother to say to me, "You need to let that go. It's killing you. It's killing you. It's killing you." And once I realized that it was killing me, I made a decision. Now, let me just tell you, I don't support doing this today, but I'm going to tell you what I did. So, this was December 2022. Not 2022. December 2002 to December 2005 that I was in this toxic, high pressure environment. December October 2005, I had just purchased my second home. Single woman, single mother, purchased a home. December 2005, so October, November, December, I decided it was time for me to walk away. There are many people, and one of my mentors was one of them, who left this earth too soon because of stress. She had a heart attack and she died. Every time someone says her name, a tear just starts to form in my eyes because I spoke to her days before she died. And she said to me, don't let what you do and who you serve have complete power over your life. And so, over the last few months, I've made a conscious decision that I too choose me, and that in order for me to get all of the things that I've been working hard to do, I had to make some adjustments in how I serve others. I had to protect my time. I had to protect my mind. I had to protect my heart. Because if I don't have my mind, my heart, and my time, I might as well not even be here because I need those things to function. So, one of the things that I want to just, and this is not going to be 30 minutes today. Um, I am thankful that some of you are here live. I know a lot of you listen when this over. But I have one more thing that I want you to do today. I have a call to action for you. These Wednesday night sessions are 30-minute growth sessions. And my goal by doing them is that something that I say helps someone make it to the next day where they can get help, they can make a plan, but they can grow. So I want you to jot down piece of paper on your cell phone, whatever you have in front of you. I want you to write down one thing that you commit to doing in the next 30 days. One thing that you commit to doing in the next 30 days. If you are not ashamed, I want you to type it in the chat. If you're not ashamed, I want you to type it in the chat. What's the one thing that you're going to commit to doing? One of the things that I am going to commit to doing, because I hadn't already thought about this, I'm reclaiming my time. I'm no longer going to be working days and nights and weekends. I'm going to reclaim my time, and I'm going to accept that I can only do what I can do in a certain time frame of the day. When I come to my office early in the morning, I'm going to execute the things that I have set out as priorities for that day. And at a certain time every day, I'm going to have a cutoff. I cannot, and I'm talking about me because I choose me, I can no longer operate being in the office all day and then going home and going to bed, because I'm missing out on some things that I should be enjoying. So I choose me. So if you're not ashamed, one thing that you commit to doing for the next 30 days, one thing. And guys, there are no big things or little things, right? It's about you verbalizing it. And then we're your accountability partners, right? We're here with you today. We see that you said that this one thing you're going to do. And you need to make sure that you hold yourself accountable for doing it. But also, guess what, guys? You got to let the other folks around you know that I am doing this for me. People will monopolize your time if you let them. But when you choose you, you are going to feel like you've dropped 50 pounds. Trust me, I know. I can tell you when I made the decision, and let me get back to my story real quick. October 2005, I bought the house. December 2005, I decided that I needed to cut ties with that organization. First of all, I was too young to be stuck at that organization because it wasn't allowing me to grow. And the work that I did, at the end of the day, I can do with my eyes closed, but it benefited them and not me. But I was allowing myself to be held hostage by salary and benefits. And once I realized that I could grow even more if I let go, once I did it, everything else just fell into place. There's that old saying that you got to close one door before you open the next. It's so true. And I have so many personal examples about closing one door. And when I tell you, as soon as that door closes, the things start to fall into place, but they fall into place because I put in the work. I kept learning faster than I was growing. So when I closed that door and walked into the next door, it was easy like Sunday morning. Well, guys, this has been today's 30-minute growth session where we focused on thriving in high pressure environments. I am Dr. Lisa L. Campbell, the growth motivator, and I bid you a good night. Oh, I see some commitments in here. I cannot go away without the commitment. Let's dig into this. Oh, it's too small. I can't read it. I'm gonna let you guys read it and then I'm gonna read it next. So I am going to commit to pursuing a career in medical coding and not working so many swing shifts at my current job. And I just recently passed the RHIT exam. Congratulations on passing the RHIT exam. That is a huge accomplishment. And so, guess what? You owe you to continue growing and learning so that you can be a better version of you for those that need you the most. Sometimes, a lot of times, we give too much time to things and people who don't mean us any good. We've got to reclaim our time. When you reclaim your time, you will feel better physically, emotionally, and spiritually. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I will have a guest on next week. We did confirm on this evening, and I am so excited to have my guest next week back, Dr. Nisa Jenkins. She is a powerful woman, and she is going to bring the fire next week. I will see you all next Wednesday. Everybody, have a great evening.